legislature.com.
This is your 420 Radio News for Tuesday, May 7th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. Colorado legislature gives final okay to marijuana driving limit, from the Denver Post. The torturous journey through the Colorado legislature of a proposal to set a stoned driving limit ended Tuesday when the state Senate gave final approval to the plan. The latest iteration of the proposal, House Bill 1325, now goes to Governor John Hickenlooper, who has said he supports the plan. The bill sets a limit of active THC, the psychoactive chemical in marijuana, that drivers can have in their blood before juries can presume they were too high to drive. The bill does not change anything about how police identify, stop, question, or test stoned drivers. Except in extreme circumstances, drivers would have to give consent to have their blood drawn, though they could lose their licenses if they refuse a request for a blood test. The bill's impact is in the courtroom, where it creates a permissive inference, essentially a nudge, to juries that people with more than 5 nanograms of THC per milliliter of blood were stoned. That is a smaller impact than in previous years, when versions of the bill made it an automatic conviction to drive with a THC blood level above the limit. Colorado lawmakers unanimously approve hemp legalization, from the Weed blog. Senate Bill 241, a measure that would enable the state's Department of Agriculture to license farmers to cultivate hemp beginning this year, has passed out of the House Agriculture, Livestock, and Natural Resources Committee, as well as the House Appropriations Committee, both unanimously. In addition, the measure was approved through its second reading in the full House of Representatives. The bill now awaits one more House vote, where its expected passage will send it to the governor for final approval, given that it's already passed the Senate with a 34-1 vote. Under the proposal, farmers would have the option of applying for a 10-acre plot in order to study the viability of various hemp varieties, or they could apply for a larger full-scale hemp farm, one that wouldn't be limited by the number of plants, but rather by the THC content in said plants. Recent congressional research indicates that hemp market consists of over 25,000 various products. The same research found that America imports over $400 million worth of hemp from other countries. Colorado measure to halt marijuana sales dies, from the Denver Post. Marijuana advocates late Monday fought back an effort that could have halted Colorado's plans for legal marijuana shops. The proposal, Senate Concurrent Resolution 3, would have put 2 separate constitutional measures before the voters in November. The first would have asked voters to approve special sales and excise taxes on recreational marijuana. If that measure failed, a second measure would have asked voters whether they wanted to suspend recreational marijuana sales. Pot sales at specially licensed marijuana stores haven't even started yet, but they were authorized by Amendment 64, a marijuana legalization measure that voters passed just last year. The resolution introduced Monday would have suspended the sales until voters approved taxes to fund regulation of those stores. Activists say pot ruling raises the stakes for LA ballot measures, from the Los Angeles Times. A California Supreme Court ruling that cities have the authority to ban all medical marijuana dispensaries within their borders raises the stakes for a ballot measure battle over how Los Angeles should regulate the drug, backers of 2 measures said Monday. An attorney for one of the measures says if none of the ballot initiatives pass on May 21st, the city council may revive its previous efforts to ban dispensaries. Last year, the council voted to ban the city's estimated 700 medical pot shops. It later repealed the ban after a group of dispensary supporters collected enough signatures to put a measure on the ballot to overturn it. Proposition D's supporters include a group of older dispensaries, labor union employees who work at those dispensaries, and several council members. Attorney David Welch is representing Measure F, which would allow unlimited dispensaries so long as they meet certain requirements. Supporters of Proposition D say the prospect of more federal raids is a concern, but they said that by forcing the majority of the city's dispensaries to close, Proposition D would reduce the nuisance that has helped prompt federal action. St. Louis marijuana penalty reduction law goes into effect next month, from stlouistoday.com. A new law reducing penalties for those caught in the city with small amounts of marijuana will go into force June 1st. The bill, which was championed by Alderman Shane Cohn, gives police officers the option to redistribute some marijuana cases to the municipal court system, essentially making it a civil infraction out of a municipal offense. Violators would typically be given a summons instead of handcuffed and put in the back of a police car. The penalty for the new ordinance would be a $100 to $500 fine. That's your 420 Radio News for Tuesday, May 7th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. When we come back, we go behind the headlines and take a look at actor Matthew Perry, honored by the Office of National Drug Control Policy for his advocacy of drug courts, and the statistics behind those drug courts. You're listening to The Russ Belville Show on 420radio.org.